Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm going to show you the easiest way to both purchase and obtain a domain name that is unique to your business or your own personal endeavor. Now, before we begin, be sure to do the customaries. Please like and subscribe. Now, if you're here, it means that you probably already know what a domain name is, but just in case, a domain name essentially is that unique address that you would type in the URL bar here when you want to go to a particular website, right? So the domain name is the name of that website. It corresponds to the website itself, and it indicates that it belongs to that person or company. So when you type in, your school's website, for example, that's a domain name. And when you type in your company's website, that's a domain name. Google.com is a domain name. Yahoo.com domain names. Instagram, and so forth and so on. So these are all domain names that have been purchased by someone for themselves or for their companies, and essentially allows them to showcase their products or services on the web and allow persons to find those products and services by going to those specific websites. And persons are able to do that by simply typing in the domain names. And so if you have a company or an endeavor or something that you'd like to do, something you'd like to portray to the world over the internet or over the web, essentially you'd need a domain name before you can do that. And so in order for you to get a domain name, you're going to have to find a website that has those types of services offered. A company that sells domain names, for example. And the easiest way to do that is to simply go to Google. You could type www.google.com in your browser, and that will take you to Google. If you're using the Google Chrome, as I am at the moment, then you could do the search from the URL section here, right? So easiest way to do that is to go to domains.google.com, and that is going to take you to the Google space where essentially they will allow you to search for a domain name you'd like to have. You could also, alternatively, you could search for domain names from the browser section here. If you're using Chrome, or if you go to google.com, you could search for domain names in the search field. All right. When you do that, you're going to find some ads at the very top. I think the most popular one is probably GoDaddy. Many people navigate to GoDaddy when they want to purchase a domain name, and it's going to give you a similar service like the domains.google. All right, so you don't have to use Google's, but this is probably one of along with GoDaddy, the easier ones to get to and to use. And so let's say you have an endeavor or a business. Let's say you're about to sell shirts, for example. You have a business where you're about to sell shirts. I am sure if you type shirt in here to see if you could get a website called www.shirt, or maybe shirts.com, I am almost sure that someone has already, I'm 100% sure someone has already purchased that domain, right? And so if I click on the .com here, I can see that yes, it is unavailable because someone has already purchased that domain. In fact, there are many domain names that have been purchased and are not even being used on the web, but they have been purchased because persons hope that the domain name itself will be useful to someone someday who will want to purchase that domain name from them. So people will purchase these domain names that they consider to be popular or will be popular or prominent um, at some point in the future. So you will probably have to think about one, how you're going to come up with a unique name for your business. You could try, shirt czars, for example, and of course, look, this is available. You could try. and Google is saying, hey, it's going to cost you about $12 per year. I know from GoDaddy you saw something like $2.99. They're giving you a discount, but by the end of the year, that is going to go right back up. Or by the time they add in, the payments and the fine fee, information, it might be just the same as Google here. All right. So this is the easiest way you'd go about finding your domain name. I would suggest thinking about a name um, before you search here. You could take some suggestions from Google as well if any of these suggestions suit your needs. But I would suggest coming up with a few names that you would like to give your website before you search. And I would also suggest that your website should not be too long. All right, because nobody really likes to type in www dot you know this person's website.com. It's way too many letters that they have to type in there. And in addition to that, we don't spell well, right? And so when we're trying to spell, we might misspell, and the person might go to another website, and before you know it, they're frustrated and they don't even want to visit your website anymore. This is the reason why websites like Google works, google.com, yahoo.com, forbes.com, all these websites work because the names are short, catchy, and to the point. All right. So if you search for your domain name here, I am sure that you probably will have some issues, but if you continue searching and changing the parameters, then that might help somewhat. You could probably try Shirt Kings as well, and yeah, that is available here. Shirt Queens, Shirt Princes, although Shirt Prince, it's probably too long. Maybe royalty shirts or something along those lines. And of course, you have several suggestions here from Google as well. All right. So that's how you would go about searching for and obtaining a domain name. Hope you found this useful, and be sure to check us out for the next video.